What's going on, everybody? This is Darren Wong representing the Kinjas, and in this video we're going to learn a footwork technique called the monkey swing. Alright, so the monkey swing utilizes a weight change, so if you don't understand how to do a weight change yet, be sure to check out my previous video I did on it before coming to this one. Alright, so the monkey swing is very similar to a weight change. The only difference is that we're starting with the opposite hand on the ground, and we're going to swing our leg from the side to the front. Okay, so normal weight change, we start with the same arm, same leg already, and then we switch. This one, we're going to start with the opposite hand and opposite leg. So let's start with our right. So our right leg's going to start out to the side. And then instead of having your right hand down, I want you to start with your left hand down. Now, two things are going to happen all together. Your right leg's going to go to the front, and I want you to push to the other side. Okay, so your right leg should be free to do whatever it wants because most of the weight is over here on my left leg. So as I move my leg to the front, I want you to also push off to the other side here. Okay, so it's one fluid movement together. It's not here, here, but I'm actually using this push to help me get to the other side and move my foot to the front here. So let's try that one more time. I'm going to start with my right leg out and my left arm down. So I'm over here. I'm going to switch my arm and put my leg to the front all at the same time, like so. Okay, from here, now we're okay to do a weight change. So normal weight change is our right leg comes in and our left leg goes out to the side this time. So instead of being out here, I'm actually going to make it a little bigger and go out to the side. So same thing over here is happening. As my leg goes to the front, I want to push off my right arm and stick my left arm on the ground. So going like this. So one more time, we're over here, left leg out, right arm down, most of the weight on my right leg. So your left leg is free. Now I switch here. Okay, so once we're over here, same arm, same leg, our left leg gets to come in and our right leg gets to go out. So let's try that one more time. So we're switching and bring our leg to the front. Switch your feet, in, out. Switch at the same time, switch, in, out. All right, so let's try going side to side. This time we're gonna make it a little bit smoother. So instead of being choppy and stopping each time, I want you to get a little bit smoother with each movement. Okay, so here we go, starting with your right and your left arm out. So we're going out, switch, in, out, switch, in, out, switch, in, out, switch, in, out. All right, so a tip I give my students so they don't get confused about when to switch their leg is I tell them to wait till the same arm and same leg are on the ground. So what I mean by that, this would be the opposite arm, opposite leg, but once I get to that front position, we're in the same arm and same leg are down together. So from here, now I can switch my feet, and it's not until I have the same arm, same leg here that I get to switch my feet again. All right, so once you have that down, now I want you to switch your feet similar to the weight change in one fluid moment. Okay, so don't bring your foot in and then stick the other leg out. Now we're gonna bring our leg in and switch our leg at the same time. So everything's the same as a weight change. Now we're just adding in that opposite arm, opposite leg swing. So our right leg is out, our left arm is down. We're switching. Now from here, don't come in and then out. Now I want you to hop in, out. Now from here, we're doing the same thing. Switch, same thing, in and out, in, out. So again, switch, in, out. Switch, in, out. All right, so once you have that down, now we're gonna try keeping our leg in the air the entire time. Okay, so let's try doing it just with our right leg out. So what's gonna happen is we're doing the same pathway, so side, front, switch, out. But now our foot's not gonna touch the ground at all. Okay, so your right leg is gonna swivel to the front, and right leg is to the front. That's when you want to switch, and I want you to kick that left leg out in the air. So let's try this. So our right leg's gonna kick out. Then from here, it's gonna go to the front, switch, and then kick out. So let's try that again. So I'm gonna kick out, front, switch my arms, switch. So here we go. So we go out, front, out. All right, so let's try that with our left leg. So again, the pathway of your left leg is going out to the front, then you switch. And it's all happening all in the air, okay? So left leg kicks out, bring it to the front, and kick out. So one more time. This is going out, front, out. All right, so the drill I give my students to help them understand how to swing their leg from the side to the front is I tell them right as their leg starts to move to the front, that's when you want to push off from one side to the other. So what's going to happen is you're distributing your weight from left to right if it's your right leg, or if it's your left leg, you're distributing from right to left. That's going to allow your leg to travel to the front and you won't get stuck. Okay, so let's try this as an example. So I'm going to kick out with my right, and right as you see my right leg start to go forward, you'll see me push off. So I'm going to kick out and go forward. So one more time, I'll try that again. So I go out, forward. So that switch is what helps me bring my foot to the front. So let's try the other arm. So I'm going to kick out with my left, and I'm going to start with my right. And right as it goes to the front, that's when I switch my arm. So let's try this. So it goes out and switch. One more time. We'll go out and switch. All right, so once you do that a couple times with both of your legs, you'll start to understand how important it is to have that base underneath you with the leg that's tucked in. So what I mean by that is you really have to be sitting on this foot. So say it's my right leg. I really have to be relying on this leg to take a lot of the pressure so I can push from hand to hand. If you're not having weight on that leg, you're gonna probably fall over either forward or you're gonna start falling on your butt. All right, so once you feel comfortable with that, now let's try going from side to side. So the trick is right when the other leg comes out, you already want to start moving that leg to the front. So don't pause once you stick the other leg out. You want to keep a fluid motion going out. So what's going to happen is you're just going to swing, and then right when this comes in, it's going to start to swing again and start to swing again. So think about you're just closing the door with your leg. So let's start with your right leg, and we'll just try going right, left, and kick back out with your right. So again, we're over here. We're going swing to the front, swing to the front, out. One more time. Try that again. We'll go swing to the front, swing to the front, out. All right, so let's try that again. Now we'll start with our left leg. So we'll go left, right, and then kick out with your left again. Okay, so here we go. So starting with your left, we're going swing to the front, swing to the front, out. So one more time. This is going swing to the front, swing to the front, out. All right, so here are some mistakes I usually see my students do when they practice this movement. All right, so the first mistake I usually see my students do as they practice this movement is they start to crouch in as they start doing the move more and more. So what's happening is instead of keeping this upright position, they think that by doing this, they're making their movement smaller, which will make it easier. But in fact, it's making you heavier, so it's gonna make it a lot harder, okay? So to show you an example, I'm gonna start here. So I'm very upright, but what they start to do is when they switch their hands, they'll start to crouch in here, yes? So what you wanna do is you wanna keep tall and lean back. Okay, so I never want to see you start crouching in, because once you do this, it's very hard to tuck your foot underneath yourself and stick out your leg, and you start to get lower and lower. All right, so the next mistake I see is they usually start to come back flat-footed, meaning they're not tucking their foot underneath their butt and sitting on their heel, which is super important and keeps you a bit higher and it keeps you a little bit lighter on your feet. So once you bring your foot back flat-footed, you're going to be lower to the ground and you're going to be slower, plus it's going to take more energy to keep doing the movement. So example of this is once I swing to the front, instead of tucking it back in, they'll come back here. And by doing that, you'll see my body lowers and I have this little dip down here. So reminder, you really want to bring it back and tuck it in. So I'll show you from the side what not to do. This is going out flat. What you want to do is you really want to come back to this position. So you go out and tuck it. All right, so the last mistake I usually see my students do is the placement of their arms. So you want to keep your arms close to yourself. That way you'll always have the same kind of rhythm and the same energy exerted each time versus reaching out in different areas or too far behind you. So example of what I see usually is people start reaching back too far. So they'll start normal, then they'll start reaching back and back and back. So by doing that, what's happening is you're exerting a lot of energy to switch from leg to leg and to switch from arm to arm. The next thing I see is they reach too far side to side. So they might start out here, and by doing this, they have to push really hard to switch instead of keeping it close and then being able to switch fluidly. All right, so with those 3 mistakes in mind, let's try an A count and make sure your technique is the same each time. So again, don't crunch in, don't reach too far out, and also don't come back flat-footed. So make sure you're always coming back to sitting on your heels. So let's try an A count, and for this one, let's try to bring it back on the whole count. So what I mean by that is this would be 1. So instead of the kick being the whole count, let's try to bring it back and switch our feet on the whole count. So I'll go and 1, and 2, and 3. So here we go, 5. Starting with the right, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. All right, so let's try that one more time. This time I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a different angle. Starting with the right. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. All right, so that's it for this one. If you liked the video, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And of course, leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. With an opposite, we're actually gonna be, All right, so let's think about pushing your arm, so close. So close. All right, so a tip I help, All All right, so a tip. Start switching your arm. Go. Wait.